Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here with part 2 of block 2, the February block for my Quilt Block of the Month series. Just a little bit ago I put this block together for you guys, and then I told you I'd come back for the big stitch quilting part. But it dawned on me that I didn't even remember how I did it or what I did. So I watched my own video, the how to do the big stitch quilting for block number 1, and I learned through me how to do it again. I'm not going to show you guys the stitching each time because that would be silly. So you're going to go to block number 1, part 2, and that's how you're going to learn to do the big stitch quilting, because I didn't change a thing. I did the exact thing that I did in the first block. See, this is the first block. It's just long stitches that we did by hand. And I just did the same thing. And I decided to stay with going, vertical and not doing some horizontal. Just want to keep it simple. And I did an okay job, and some of the thread is loose. But it's okay because that thread might shrink up a little bit. I can't remember what it's called, but it's crochet thread, and I can't remember the size. It might be 3 or 10, I can't remember. It's in the video, the first video. So you have to go watch the first video to know what I'm using. But I wanted to show you something. Hang on. This is the little practice piece I had done. I mean, just tiny little practice piece. This black is the exact thread that I'm using, and it has been washed and dried. And it didn't like all shrink up, like bunch up the fabric, like some people told me it would. And this is also cotton, but it's thicker. This is thinner. So this must be 10, number 10. For thread, the bigger the number, the thinner. So this must be number 3. I think it was 3 and 10 that I was working with. I'm not sure. Again, go watch the first video. So I'm not concerned if there's some. You can always just like tug a little bit to even out the thread. Like this one is a little bit loose. I could just, pull it along a little bit, help it out a little bit. And terrible job here. Very crooked. Not concerned with it at all. So what I am going to do is, like I said, I'm going to send you back to that video to do the big stitch quilting. And moving forward, when I do the block, I'm going to just do the stitching off camera and show you how it came out after the fact. But now I've decided, we're just going to rag this, and I'm going to join as I go. Then I won't have anything to do like all at once at the end. So this is January. And this is February. And I am going to sew here. But, when we do rag quilting style, we do it this way. We want the wrong sides together. And I do want to also mention that my backing... Oh, okay. I need to put a knot there. I have something left. That's for the second block? Yes, okay. I need to make a knot there, and I will do that. I have a direction, and I'm just making sure that the backing is all going to be in the right direction, so vertical in my case. And I'm just going to go to the machine. I'm going to sew wrong sides together, and I'm going to sew right here. I can feel my batting. I don't necessarily need to catch the batting. The batting is all good. So I'm just going to sew on the outside of that batting, and then I am actually going to snip. I'm going to do the snipping as I go also, but I'm not going to do right up to the corner, and because I want to have a good edge for when I join rows. So I'll show you. Let me just go sew right here, and let me take care of that knot. I already caused myself work. I sewed this almost the whole way and realized that I had my dark aqua thread, and I didn't want that. I don't want a color thread, and I don't want to use black thread because I don't want it to take away from the black stitching. And so I have my clear nylon thread, and I used that, and I'll show you that, you can not really see it. You can see like the groove where the stitching is, but you can't really see the thread. You don't have to use that if you don't want, and I don't want anybody telling me you don't use nylon thread on a quilt. Yes, you know I don't care. There are no rules. If you want something that kind of blends in, everybody says like light gray works good. White would be okay. I don't know. See, white, I wouldn't want white on my purple, things like that. To me, the clear thread is perfect for me, for my liking. And I used a fairly big stitch, so I just didn't want it to be like, I don't know, if you've never used nylon thread, I mean, it's nylon. It can feel like plastic. But with a nice big stitch, you're going to be fine. The other thing, I am so glad that I didn't accidentally have prints that matched, because I completely forgot when I was cutting my fabrics that this piece was going to go next to this piece. So I got very lucky, very lucky. So do remember that. And, you know, when you plan block number 3, you know, I'm not going to have these 3 right there, and maybe not the flowers right there, because that would be kind of close. So I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Then when we, you know, start adding blocks to the, you know, another row, then I'm going to be concerned with what's above that block and then what is going to be beside that block. So it's a little bit more planning, but it'll all work. And if you have a lot of different prints, you're going to be fine. So, and I took care of that knot, wherever it was. And now I'm going to snip, but I'm not going to snip right up to the edge, because when we have our 2 rows, I don't want to be like sewing over loose stuff. So I'll probably snip up to 1 inch, and here also up to 1 inch, because I don't really know yet what I'm doing with the border. So I'm just going to snip on the inside. You don't have to do that right now if you don't want, but I figure why not just go ahead and do it. I don't have to worry about doing the whole big quilt at the end. And well, it's not going to be a big quilt. It's going to be 3 of these squares by 4. And I do have some snippers, but they're not bouncing back like they used to once upon a time. I just got those in the tool department at a store in Maine called Martin's, and I loved it. So I'm not using those. You don't have to. You can use scissors. And I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to snip right up to, not too close. I don't know if you can see, but can you see the cuts? And then, I don't know if you can. Oh, it would help if I got you in the camera. The cuts, and then you can see my stitch line. So I'm probably coming up to like maybe 1/8 of an inch to the stitch line. And yes, my nails, I had to cut my nails because I broke 3 of them just in the past few days. And I have to polish them. There's clear polish on them. But then I dyed my hair, and I wear gloves, but I guess in the shower, when I was getting the dye out of my hair, it stained all my nails. So, so there's that. And I'm just going to do this all the way down. If you should happen to snip right through your thread where you just sewed that together, you just sew it together again, okay? That's all you have to do. And now we're done with these 2 pieces. This is what the back looks like. I like that. And I'm not washing this, only when the whole quilt is done. And then I can, you know, cry heavily if the whole quilt falls apart. Oh, I have my nylon thread here. You can pick up the nylon thread at Walmart, and or any other place, any other craft store, I'm sure. I like very much. And I didn't even realize that the heart was going to be close to the kitty cat. You know, I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to just put things wherever. I don't like want this always in the center, so I'm going to be okay with that, because I have to be, because I can't change it at this point, right? You must subscribe. I'm going to have the next block, hopefully March 1st. I'm always aiming for the 1st of the month. If you like to crochet, I am also doing a crochet block of the month, and that is the middle of the month. I'm aiming for the 15th of every month. And we have the first one done for January, and February will be coming up. The next block will be coming up for that. So do subscribe, and you won't miss out on any of the things I do, and I'm still doing car vlogs and chats and all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Oh, and always check my eBay store. The link is always in the description under my videos. Bye!